I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 155 of the SZN Podcast. I'm your host, Kam.
I'm your host, Flowz.
And as always, guys, you know the drill by now. My usual housekeeping message, please head over to SZN Pod or SZN Podcast. That's our Instagram and Twitter page. And in the bio of those pages, that will take you to, you'll see a link that will take you to where we are situated-wise, streaming-wise. So whether that's audio, you got Spotify, etc., or video, YouTube channel link is also there. Flowz, how you been?
Good, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, man. Good. We've
Prem's back for what?
We got an AJ card to discuss. Yeah. I feel like we ain't got a stand of ceremony here, Flowz. We can get straight into it.
Yo, you can't wait. Yeah, let's get into it.
No, you know what? To be honest, I'm intrigued to hear because Flowz, we actually haven't discussed this in private properly yet. To be fair, usually we do. So I'm actually very intrigued to hear your thoughts. I have a feeling what your thoughts are going to be. But AJ, when we recorded last week, Flowz, I'm pretty sure the Helenius announcement hadn't come yet.
No.
I'm pretty sure, because remember, that's when I was saying that, David Haye's gone in to say that Chisora is going to step in. So at the time of recording last week, Helenius hadn't even been mentioned. Yeah. I'm pretty sure might have been like 2 days later when the episode dropped, it got announced officially that it's going to be Helenius.
Yeah.
So I guess we can start there, Flowz, really, in terms of when it was announced that it was going to be Robert Helenius. What were your thoughts initially?
I was thinking, you know what? It's an easy opponent. It's not a challenge. It's a hard one to shift in terms of, because the fight was meant to be pay-per-view.
Yes.
And the ticket prices were nuts for the AJ fight because it was billed as AJ White. So I was like, this ain't the caliber of opponent that's even on the card in that sense, because it was talking of Chisora, which would sell, and Hrgovic, which is a tough fight. So when they said Helenius, I was like, okay, that's a nice, easy touch.
Yeah.
Because we've seen what Wilder's done to Helenius. So for me, it was like, this, you have to just make a statement now. That's what it is. Get him out there, make it quick work. That was my thoughts.
Yeah. And so you mentioned the pay-per-view thing, obviously DAZN recognizing that as well. I guess they took it off pay-per-view swiftly in terms of what this fight was going to be. The names, obviously, the names were, obviously, a couple of names were mentioned. Obviously, we mentioned Chisora last time. We saw Andy Ruiz, give a call out to Eddie Hearn. And basically, Hearn come out and said, I think you mentioned it last week, Flowz, how matching are very on point when it comes to having the replacement fighters lined up just in case things fall through, such as a failed drug test. And Hearn said that there were actually two names within the replacement bracket. It was two names specifically that they'd already come to terms with and to come to a deal with. And one of them was Robert Helenius, the other one was Ajit Caballero. And at the end of the day, Caballero they agreed a certain price for him prior. And obviously, since White failed the drugs test, apparently Caballero has come and upped his price again and priced himself out of that corner to Hearn. Apparently, Hearn said he's then asked for triple the money that they agreed upon. Which killed, you know what? Fair play.
That's fine.
Bro, you got to try it, though.
Yeah.
you got to try it.
Because it's saving the day, really and truly.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the ones where, look, you need me. So without me, there's no card. You're going to have to cancel and all those, refunds, all that kind of stuff. So you might as well. But apparently Helenius, who had actually fought, I think, like 5 days prior in Finland against some... I saw the picture of the fight, I just saw the surroundings with brick walls and stuff. I said to myself, what the hell are they fighting, bruv? It was killing me.
Some castle or something.
Apparently it was some castle.
Yeah.
So apparently he fought and knocked out some lowly ranked Finnish opponent back home in Finland. But the point is, he was in match. He was fight temperature. He just fought a week prior, and he was like, I'm down. I'm not changing the terms of my fee. Let's get it. So yeah. Similar to you, Flowz, my initial thought is, look, we've been calling for AJ to make statements. We said he should make a statement against Franklin. We didn't say so much he should make a statement against Dylan White at the time, because it's like, okay, White, despite him not looking his best, he's still a very credible opponent. But Robert Helenius, perfect opponent for me, in my eyes, for you to make a statement. Whereas Andrew Ruiz, I was wary from the jump, because obviously stylistically I knew that's a tough matchup for AJ, because that type of short, quick hands fighter we've seen give AJ problems in the past. Povetkin, Takam, for example. But Helenius, to me, right up AJ street. Tall, rangy, stand-up fighter, will come forward. I thought to myself, easy pickings for AJ to make a statement. And I said straight away, for me, I think you said it earlier, I said for me, let's get this guy out there for 3 rounds. 3 rounds. There's no arguments, ifs, buts, or maybe. I said straight up, he's got 3 rounds to do it. I think you said 2.
I was harsher.
Yeah, you was. I think you said 2, right? Was it 2 you said?
I think I said, yeah. If I wanted to say 1, I think it had to be 1, really and truly, for any statements to be made. I think 2, yeah. 2, you already get negative comments. Not from me, but in general, I thought. So if he didn't do it with 1, I thought like it's peaked for him.
But Flowz, the reason I didn't say 1 is because I knew straight away, obviously, it's inadvertent that you're gonna get compared to Wilder, who fought Helenius, and got him out of there in 1 round. And to me, AJ and Wilder are completely different. I'm not saying, yes, AJ has power, Wilder has power, but different kind of power. They both fight a different kind of way. And I'll be so real, Flowz, I'm applying best friend tax to the Wilder's win as well. Obviously, I do believe Wilder didn't stop him. It was legitimate to you. You're the one that said you thought he took a dive. I think it was legitimate. However, best friend tax has to be employed, because Helenius, I don't know, bro, because them two, Wilder and Helenius is actually serious, like they're boys, they're proper mates. So the way it was after I'm seeing Wilder break down in tears and stuff, I'm thinking to myself, hang on here, what's going on? So at least I know that I felt like with AJ, Helenius would be a bit more serious and a bit more wary in terms of just charging forward and whatnot, as opposed to Wilder, where he came forward and got slumped. So I didn't want to compare him to Wilder, which I knew people was going to do anyways. Casuals would be like, oh, Wilder did it in 1, AJ's got to do it in 1, blah, blah. Yeah. To me, 3 was perfectly fine. I think that's fair. Helenius, to me, is food. He's not that good. Like I said, he's tall, cumbersome, comes forward quite aggressively. He's not a top contender at all. So easy opponent, I think, for AJ to easily, get his mojo back. And I don't know, Flowz, during the whole preamble and stuff, obviously it was a quick turnaround in terms of getting the final presser done. And it was weird to me because, I think it was the final weigh-in on the weigh-in day when they had their head-to-head. And I think AJ started talking a bit of grease. There's no bad blood between both of you. So I don't know what you're trying to force, but maybe that's just trying to get the viewers involved. I don't know. But fight night's Kam Flowz, and I'm thinking to myself, look, AJ, do the damn thing. Let's get into it. Get this guy out of there. 3 rounds I'm giving you. Flowz, I kid you not. I saw that first round. I said to myself, oh my gosh, this guy's going to embarrass me today. Please don't embarrass me, AJ, please. Because I've seen Helenius start, the bell's rung, Helenius come, charge. He's let Helenius, give the quick 1, 2, 3 combination from the jump. Obviously, these punches weren't effective, and it really hurt AJ or whatever. I'm just going to say, why are you letting Helenius get off just for the jump? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then I'm seeing Helenius, AJ's obviously working behind the jab, and we've mentioned it before many times that AJ's style was changed over the years, and he tries to be a bit more refined now as a boxer puncher, and he's there working behind the jab and being a bit tentative again. And I think this is a common theme with AJ in his most recent fights, right, Flowz? Tentative and gun shy. And I'm thinking to myself, against a Helenius, you don't need to be so tentative. You can go for it. I'm not saying unload the tank from the off. I'm not saying that. But you can let your hands go freely. You've got the speed edge, he's got the power edge, and he's got the boxing ability edge. He has all the edges over Helenius, to me, Flowz. So just, don't be afraid to just, for a quick combination here or there. You haven't just got to be so tentative behind the jab on the back foot. Robert Helenius, to me, shouldn't be putting AJ on the back foot. Flowz. I'll be so real. And I saw that in the first round. I saw that in the second round. I knew by round 2, Flowz, that my 3-round prediction gone to it's not a bit. Sorry, my 3-round expectation. Thank you. Wasn't going to happen, Flowz. I just knew from the second round it was done. When I'm seeing Robert Helenius out jab him sometimes and win the battle over jabs, yeah, man. For me, Flowz, I wasn't instilled with confidence. Let me put it that way. What about for you?
Yeah. From after round 2, I think. Yeah, I said, let me give him one more round because I'm seeing Helenius working the jab, piecing him up, and I'm looking at AJ in the corner, and I'm seeing swelling in his eye. I'm seeing
Flowz,
blood on the top.
Was it round 2 where we both said? Well, I said, bro, Flowz. In fact, let me not speak. That's what I said. I said, let me not speak, and you said, bro, trust me, I know.
I was typing to say something, and then you said, bro, let me speak, and I was like, you know what, me too, because what I want to say is crazy, and I said, you know what, buddy, this guy shouldn't fight Wilder. Straight from there.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. But
I'll see.
Swear on the eye. Let's look because the commentary tried hardest not to say it.
Yeah.
But AJ's eye was swollen based on the fact that he was eating jabs from Helenius. He was letting Helenius eat out jabbing. That shouldn't be happening.
Helenius was landing jabs, backing up AJ. And look, you could say that, okay, AJ was using footwork and whatnot. But we've called on him to ditch all that. And he's called on himself to ditch that.
Yeah.
Because previously he says, he needs to start bringing fire and bringing energy. And we've seen, like you say, we've seen AJ evolve into being a more technical fighter, trying to hone his craft in the sense that he wants to be more of a boxer. Yeah. He's trying to emulate some of the great fighters in what they do and build his skill as such. And we've seen that gradually over the years, and it's come to the point where we're questioning the AJ that people fell in love with, that people clamored for, the knockout, aggressive, come forward, explosive fighter. And it just looked like this guy just ain't that. He's still trying to show boxing a chess match with Helenius.
With a Helenius, bro.
With Helenius.
And I'm assuming you specifically mentioned chess match as well, because that's what he was talking about afterwards in his interviews. Mm-hmm. And that's not what I'm trying to see with a Helenius. I understand if it's against someone else, but not a Robert Helenius, bro. And people are going to say we'll be harsh to Helenius. I'm sorry, but that's not the caliber of opponent where you got to be doing up chess match for. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead. So it's exchanging blows.
It's so hard to describe, but there's just, maybe you have listeners will have to go back and watch AJ's earlier fights to know what we're talking about. But it's just from the demeanor alone, Flowz. There's an aura missing. There's something lacking with demeanor when he's throwing these punches. Sometimes he's not wanting to engage willy-nilly. There's just an aggression lacking. I don't know what to pull it. I don't know how to describe it, Flowz, but it's just something is lacking. And it's apparent. You saw it against Franklin. I'm seeing it against Robert Helenius. And some people might think we're being harsh, Flowz, because I think it was maybe the 4th round or the 5th where he then started to really break Helenius down and started to, go at him. But by this point, Flowz, he has a bust nose. But at this point, and it's like, why is Helenius doing that to you? Swollen eye, bust nose, like. I'm seeing blood coming out of his Flowz. Helenius should not be doing this to you. I'm sorry. He shouldn't be touching you like this.
But you're both bleeding. No. It's crazy.
Helenius should not be doing that to him. And fair. He finally got into his groove where I think he finally realized that, this guy isn't all that. He's food. I'm better than him. When he let his hand, look, to me, for Flowz, AJ could have ended this fight a lot sooner if he just let his hands go.
Yeah.
Against some opponents, you just simply all you have to do is let your hands go. And you'll be able to get them out there. Because the moment that AJ started letting his hands go, Helenius was breaking down. He was struggling, couldn't keep up, getting caught with big shots. And then we finally get to the 7th now, Flowz, where, by the way, the knockout was lovely. I'm not going to take anything away from that. The knockout was beautiful in terms of how he set it up, really well constructed. Jab to what I think was one jab to the body, one jab to the head to sort of distract Helenius, and then he caught him with a big right. 1-2, caught him with a big right, and Helenius was out before he hit the ground. I think he was slumped, which we know Helenius will be. When we catch Helenius clean, he don't get up. We saw it of water, so and it's just like, bro, you could have done this from the third round. You could have done this in the third round. You could have done this in the second round if I'm keeping it a buck.
Yeah. Look, the thing is, AJ is scared of. We've said this before. He's scared of firefights.
Yeah.
Look, the old AJ, if someone's trying to come forward, he'd come and meet them. Boom, let's exchange. And he's got the speed, explosiveness, the power to win those exchanges. But like you've said many times, the last time he tried that in a firefight was Andy Ruiz, and it's irrepressible damage.
Irrepressible damage is the term I use. Yes,
it's the term you use.
Yeah.
Now when Helenius is getting off his shots, he's backing off. He's trying to create distance between anyone who's throwing punches rather than stepping in to trade with them or get off his work. And what's interesting about the knockout is I think he jabbed again, and maybe I don't think it landed clean, but Helenius landed a jab. And that's when he threw the right hand. So he got caught with the jab but threw the right hand. So they both exchanged in that period. And where he's been backing off in those portions or to try to, his head movement ain't great, but he was trying head movement. This one, he just let his right hand go, boom, at the same time, boom, lights up. My power v your power. I've come out on top.
Yeah.
So I think he gradually evolved into the older AJ from like round 5 where he was forcing the issue coming forward. Willing to take a shot to land the shot, which is fine because you could see the power stakes when he started exchanging. He was Helenius didn't really want it
at all.
But man, even like you say, by the point of round 7, the writing was on the wall for me. It was too little too late.
Little too late for us. He could, like I said, he could have ended this if he let his hands go earlier. And look, you can say, look, he woke up, he got a spectacular knockout, he started slow, then woke up, blah, blah, blah. He was downloading data. You shouldn't have to do that against the Helenius, first of all. And second of all, Flowz, I'm now seeing you after the knockout, head back to your corner, swollen eye, as I said, blood coming out from your nose, you're breathing heavy. It's like, this is Robert Helenius, This is it. I can't stress this enough. This is Robert Helenius. It's not like a top-level contender. It's Helenius. He shouldn't be touching you like that. He shouldn't be. You shouldn't be getting your eyes swollen and busting your nose and whatnot. I'm so sorry, he shouldn't be. So you've tried to morph into this technical boxer, Flowz, but you're still getting. You might as well have to fight because you're doing all this and you're still getting touched up. So you might as well have to fight, bro. You might as well.
Yeah. What's crazy is, look, people might be saying we're being harsh on Robert Helenius. But when Wilder fought Helenius, we were dissing him for fighting the Helenius.
Saying of all people, you picked a late. Yeah.
You'll say, look, he's got to pick the Helenius. And when AJ lost to Usyk, I was saying, look, all these other men are doing this, fighting the Heleniuses, the Tom Schwartz. You go and fight Helenius.
Yeah.
And to get an easy touch. And the easy touch gave me hell. The easy touch busted your nose.
Oh, no.
The cherry.
Nah, it kills me because I said cherry gone wrong. Cherry gone wrong is the funniest.
You can't be funny with cherries.
One of the funniest boxing phrases ever. And again, as we honestly, Flowz, they fully didn't want to mention the swollen eye, until they saw them pressing the hell out of it with the iron, with the end swell. They didn't want to mention it,
They're doing it. Look, granted, you can say 1 week notice, hard to prepare, it's difficult, whatever. That's fine. That changing styles. Yeah, I'll accept that. Yeah, it is difficult to fight a late opponent and change styles, and it's going to be difficult. That's a fair point. But I think the other points that we've raised are more telling because it's Helenius. It's not a killer.
Yeah.
It's someone we've cooked with in the past. We can't just come out and say like Eddie.
We have to keep the same energy. Yeah. Like you said, when Wilder we were cooking Wilder for fighting Helenius. We kept saying it. So the energy has to remain the same. And this style is what usually works for AJ, as in that stand-up upright style.
Yeah, so. tall fighters. That's what he's been cooking. Stopping previously. And look, like I say, keeping the same energy. They showed clips of Eddie Hearn talking about Wilder fighting Helenius.
Yeah.
discrediting Helenius then, and then saying Helenius is a dangerous fight now. We're not going to do that. We're definitely not going to do that.
We know what they're going to do. We have to keep it honest. We have to keep the same energy flows, and it inevitably brings us onto Wilder, because obviously they share this common opponent in our flows, and the talk was that AJ wins this. They have that mega fight in Saudi. It was initially meant to be December, but now Hearn is saying it can be January, possibly even February, but early next year. This mega fight in Saudi with Deontay Wilder, a fight that many years ago I would be welcoming confidently. For you can rewind what I used to say back on the pod. I was saying I was positive AJ's going to eat Wilder alive, and it really hurts to be saying it, Flowz, and it sucks to be saying it. But I don't want AJ anywhere near that fight, bro, at all. I don't want to see AJ fight Deontay Wilder. In fact, I would recommend, if I was on AJ's team, I'm there saying swerve it. Obviously, unfortunately, it can never be swerved because the money behind that fight, Flowz, is going to be humongous. That's a multi-million, like, that's crazy money what they're going to do. So it's probably going to be made because of that. But I don't want to see it, Flowz, because I just see, unfortunately, AJ, my boy, sprawled out on the canvas, being done dirty from a Wilder KO. And it's purely because of it's just this version of AJ. The AJ back in the day, I'm confident it's your power, my power versus your power, and I believe he would have got to Wilder first, because well, everyone knows Wilder can't box, whether it's in the back foot or in general. Yeah. Cool, we know the bang is disgusting, but I always thought that AJ would be able to get to him first, based on the fact that he's a better boxer than him.
Yeah.
But not this AJ that's tentative and willing to have chess matches and Flowz. I hate to say it, it really hurts me, but I think Wilder beats AJ. I don't want to see AJ go out that way. I really don't. Because he's scared to take banks.
Yeah.
You can't go in and walk against a Wilder scared of the bank, because you're going to second guess yourself and then boom, it hits you. So, and the Americans will have a field day.
Yeah, AJ's he's not trying to be the killer anymore. Like, we saw it towards the end, but the killer's not there. And to beat Wilder, you got to be the killer.
Yeah, man.
Kill or be killed.
Yeah,
you can't
man.
be trying to be tentative and trying to back off and wait, because he's done a lot of weight against Usyk. He was stepping into range and not throwing. You got to let your hands go.
Yeah,
you got to get him out of there before he gets you out of there. Is the simple fact. And look, they've shared a few common opponents now, and we criticised Wilder when he fought Molina and it took him 9 and got rocked by Molina.
But don't forget that, please. Molina had him stumbling.
Got wobbled by Molina.
Crazy.
But then since then, he got out of Brazil in 1 round.
Brazil. Destroyed Brazil. Yeah.
Killed him. Who's this brother? What's the guy who just fought now?
Helenius.
Got him out of there in 1.
Yeah.
So the scoreboard in terms of common opponents ain't looking good for AJ. Why did he stop? Yeah, he stopped. They both stopped the same people. They stopped everyone they fought.
Yeah.
But other than Molina, he stopped Brazil quicker. He stopped Helenius quicker.
Yeah.
But that's Wilder's bag. Like KO guys, we've seen AJ transition away from the KO.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
For me, like I said, watching that, I was like, don't fight Wilder. Avoid him.
Yeah.
Fury is a no-no either. A big no-no. So I don't know. I can't keep saying I'm waiting to see the old AJ. It's still in there.
But this is
maybe he'll bring it out for these opponents. I can't say that. These are all hypotheticals. I can only go off what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing ain't it. Unless he brings a complete different game plan, and just goes, bunny, I'm just going to throw caution to the wind and we're going to fight. Because he's talked a big game. He talked to big games before, but after the fights, he's then saying, you guys
chess
know boxing and chess match. And
I'm not trying to hear you do chess match with Helenius, bro. I'm so sorry.
Ditch all the chess match stuff. But that was my thoughts.
Flowz, no Wilder, no Fury. Who would you see in fight next then? A big cash out fight, or look, still King Kong Ortiz?
Yeah, King Kong Ortiz, get him out. If White's clear, gets cleared, him. To be honest, I think he has to fight Wilder. I think he does.
I was gonna say, Flowz, even though we don't want it to happen, I think it's gonna happen.
I think
the money behind it is too. Yeah,
I think he has to. I think he had there's if you don't, it's ducking. And after the years of who's ducking who, now is the time to duck really and truly. But it's too late. Because when you look at the facts, Wilder's the one who didn't want it. But I think now Wilder will want it.
Yeah, no,
I still think AJ wants it.
Yeah. No, I think they both want it. Well, Wilder's not going to fight again until this now, apparently, because he doesn't want to put that at risk, him losing. Yeah, Wilder and Ruiz was been meant to have fought. Yeah. They got told to fight so they can get the mandatory slot for the WBC. They couldn't agree to it, and I think Wilder's now just going to sit because he knows this massive payday in Saudi Arabia is coming for AJ with AJ. So he's like, "Why am I going to risk that? I could lose to Andrew Ruiz. I'm going to lose my position there." So Wilder's going to have crazy layoff. Or he's going to fight Food just to get him in position, I guess, get him match temperature. But he definitely won't fight Andrew Ruiz. It's too risky for him. But yeah, the fight's going to be made, Flowz. I think the public have wanted it for too long as well. Yeah. The money behind it's too big. I would love AJ to do it, but the confidence I had back in the day, a couple of years ago, compared to now, completely gone, bro. It's completely gone, and that's just because of just who this new AJ is. I don't even call him the new AJ, Flowz. This is him now. It's not even. It's been apparent for a long time now. So it is what it is.
Would you like to see him fight one more? I think he's going to come out and fight twice this year.
Yeah, so he did. So he said he wants to fight 3 times this year. So he's fought Franklin this year, and now he's still got technically one more to do this year, which was meant to be Wilder. But Wilder, they reckon it's gonna be next year now, January.
Yeah, but I'm saying he said in his in the interview after that he wants to fight 2 more times this year, which I think was a mistake. I
don't think that's happening. He might get another run out, and it probably will be against another non-risky opponent. So I don't know if they'll put the White fight back on. If let's say White gets cleared, because it's becoming too close to the Wilder fight, I don't think they're gonna. They might rain check that for maybe after Wilder. So maybe give him another easy-ish opponent just to warm up for Deontay Wilder before he goes into that Wilder fight. Maybe. I'm okay with that. I know they'll match make well for him. They won't give him someone that could potentially, really give him proper trouble. But yeah, it's all setting up for inevitable Wilder KO for me, Flowz, to be honest. It is what it is. But money after Mech, and he's trying to get back on the winning trail. So he's trying to get his mojo back. And some people would have saw that knockout and be like, yeah, he's still got the power. We know the power is the last thing to go, Flowz. So you always have the power. He just needs to get in his head that he's okay to let his hands go in certain situations for him to get the power off. Simple.
Yeah, that's the key thing. Let your hands go, throwing combinations, and but you saw him in the corner say, "This was peak." You see us, what's the Derek James?
Derek James. He always does.
He can't land the right hand.
Yeah, he always sounds the trainer tracks. Always keep getting AJ in trouble, boy, because he always seems clueless in there with his trainers.
Yeah. I actually don't mind it. I don't mind the conversation.
Go on.
He's very much a student. You can see the student in him, and he's asking for advice and tips. You can see that he likes the what's it called? The cooperation, the coaching element of it. And if there's a problem, let's work on it. What can I do to improve it? Yeah. And a lot of trainers don't give that type of feedback. They just give motivation speeches and whatnot. Like they say, you're doing brilliantly. They're giving you that kind of feedback. But he's asking, okay, what do I do here? Like, I can't do this. It's the problem I'm facing. So I don't mind it, but it's going to get you in trouble when you're struggling against these opponents. People already don't like you. People are ready to kill you. Yeah. People can't wait to kill AJ. So they're always going to use these things against you. So, but I don't mind it. I think it's a healthy thing to do for a fighter. Because if you don't know, if you can't see it, then your coach better be seeing it. Yeah. And you've got to ask for that feedback in my eyes, and the coach should be giving that feedback. A good coach anyway. Yeah.
I hear that. Yeah. I hear that, bro. Yeah, man. AJ's AJ now, man. We got to deal with it, Flowz, and we'll see what happens. I guess what transpires whether it comes to whether it's the Wilder fight next or an interim fight next. But I've seen what I need to see. Let's put it that way, Flowz.
I wanted to ask, what did you make of the post-fight interview, people were critical of his antics again, where he said he's carrying the heavyweight division on his back and whatnot. Yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. If you think it was AJ being cringy again or being fake or whatever they call him.
I'm so used to this from him now as well, Flowz, in terms of he does this. Remember what White said, it's true. He's a bit weird, AJ. I didn't think too much of it, Flowz. I think it's just him. I don't know. It might be him just trying to. I don't know, but give that air of, yeah, I'm still that guy. I'm still blah blah. I'm still him. And it might be falling deaf ears now because of just the fact that his performances in the ring don't seem to match up to the big game that he talks. But yeah, I didn't really think too much of it. I just thought to myself, oh, this is AJ being AJ again. This is him. It's what he tends to do at the end of the fight. So yeah. Did you have much thoughts towards it, or I knew the public will bite. I knew the public will bite. They always bite on that. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see too much in it. AJ, like I say, AJ always has like the pressure he has is different kind of pressure to other fighters. He's like he's been carrying the nation. He's legit been carrying the heavyweight division on his back for years. Really,
he did. Yeah,
he
deserves his
flowers. Carried boxing on his back.
Yeah,
carried the sport on his back. Women are carrying the sport now, but he was carrying the sport. Like you see all these YouTube channels had their peak when AJ was rising. Off the back of AJ, the heavyweight division was boring and dead. So I give him that, and I think sometimes where you have that adrenaline come down, I think that's what leads to his weird antics after fights. But it's not weird. It's just the eyes are on him, so it looks weirder because everything's elevated when it's AJ. So yeah, bit of a weirdo, but all of these men are weird.
Yeah, true. Well, yeah, as I said before, when you've been boxing head so long, you're going to be a bit weird up there.
All of them do weird stuff after. So yeah,
true. Might as well quickly just mention a few characters from the undercard Flowz. Hrgovic was up against Dempsey McLean, an Australian unknown quantity, but I know of him because I know he's been in camps sparring AJ before, and also I think White's used him as a sparring partner before as well. Hrgovic has a mandatory position for the IBF title, which is one of the belts that Usyk has, and he was defending his mandatory slot basically in this fight. This McLean Flowz, he's southpaw, very tall and rangy, and obviously last time Hrgovic was up against a southpaw, he really struggled in Zhilei Zhang. And this McLean guy, you could see that maybe early on he might give him problems again, but this McLean guy was pretty. I wouldn't call him negative, but he was on the back foot the whole time. Flowz sort of fighting behind the jab, so Hrgovic had to try and find his way in and try and break him down, which he did in the end, to be honest. And he's the one that landed all the cleaner stuff and the hurtful shots. And in the 12th round, he finally was able to get to it, Flowz, with a peach of a big shot that had this guy fall into the ropes. Basically, like the comments, I think Andy was like, "Oh, he's knocked out already," like he was gone. It was boxers kill me, Flowz, because this guy, his legs went instantly and he fell into the ropes, and the referee had to then give him the count and stuff. And then the referees, he then started walking, as the referee's he's at 4, he's started stumbling to the side. And the referee then he's waved it off, because obviously this guy is gone. The moment the referees waved it off, Flowz, the protest for him, he's like, "Nah, what?" Fighters absolutely kill me, man, because Flowz, he was gone. The moment the referee decided to do that, he started protesting, like, "Oh, I'm fine, blah, blah." But yeah, it was a deserved win for Hrgovic anyway. He was the one who landed the biggest shots all fight. And yeah, he's in position for Usyk. A lot of people were saying that Usyk has got nothing to worry about. Obviously, we've seen him against Zhilei Zhang. He didn't look good. And against, obviously, this guy, it wasn't his best performance, but he got him out there. But Hrgovic is a good fighter. But I still back Usyk to beat him. Like, I don't think he poses too much of a problem for Usyk, personally. Chisora, didn't even watch this fight properly, Flowz. I think you said you also didn't really tune into it. But I saw bits of it. I saw his head getting jabbed off by Jared Washington in portions. That's the most I saw. But the comments, Flowz, the streets are saying that Chisora got lucky.
Yeah.
And that even though he got the UD win, everyone said it was the biggest hometown decision ever. Everyone was saying really Washington beat Chisora.
Yeah.
Outboxed him from the first round to the 12th, I think, or was it 10th? I think it was 12th. And yeah, it was very unfortunate to escape to leave with a loss. And I even had Sean messaging me whilst the fight was going on. He said Chisora should never fight again after this, which is hilarious because I've then seen Chisora's interview afterwards saying he's this. He says, F what people say, I'm going to carry on. Yeah, man. Chisora in it. But I've said it from time Flowz that Chisora should call it a day. But the people love him and they keep showing up for him. So he's liable to carry on if he wants to because he's getting payday still. So yeah.
Yeah. Look, Washington's another person who's food.
On that food list, yeah.
Yeah, he's on that food. But which is funny because he's beaten Helenius, Washington.
Yes. Stopped him. Stopped him.
So it's damning. But yeah. We've seen was it
thing is Washington's actually quite decent, you know.
He was beating Wilder.
He was giving Wilder hell. The things with Washington, yeah, he's one of them ones where mentally as well. Sometimes I question whether he even cared or he's with it. Because I've seen it outbox people, but then he'll take one big shot and suddenly he doesn't want to know anymore. And mentally he just he collapses.
Yeah.
But he's actually stylistically, in terms of his fundamentals and stuff, he's actually decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chisora, he's gonna keep doing paydays. I fear that we need to see Chisora sprawled out of the canvas again before he decides to call it quits.
Bro, and that's the thing is that's dangerous. But I agree with you there. I think so too. But you don't want to see that, you know, because it's dangerous.
But if he's gonna fight non-punchers and whatnot, then he can keep doing it. Because right now he's not really gatekeeping, really and truly. They're just trying to put it in. It's careful matchmaking. It looks like they're trying to matchmaking quite well. With
beatable guys that might give a bit of a test, but he could ultimately win. Yeah.
So we'll see. I think we'll see his last one. Even like Pulev, he's getting lucky decisions.
SD that was. Yeah.
Pulev was lucky. This was a bit lucky. We'll see what they keep doing with him. Tyson Fury let him off the hook. Big time. That's what he was toying with him in there. So we'll see what happens with Chisora.
Yeah.
But he seems like he's going to keep going.
He's not stopping. He seems very bullish that he's not stopping. And he got a W, so he can argue that he's like, I won, so I'm good. Nice little win for Johnny Fisher as well, Flowz. He got nice knockout stoppage win. He got the Southern Area title on that one in his 10th fight. So he was very emotional with that one. The guy he beat was obviously food, but it was a nice little statement stoppage in terms of how we got to him in the end. Dirty shot, to be fair, actually. I thought, oof, real mean shot.
Look, what I saw for Johnny Fisher is what I wanted to see from AJ. Just beat someone up, step to them and bully them, beat them up. Granted, it's easy to do against legit journeymen. Let's give Helenius some credit. He's been around the block. He's an experienced fighter. Let's give him that. He's not a journeyman. But at the highest level, you should be beating him. But Johnny Fisher, I think he's got a good fan base. He's progressing, quietly going about his business. I'll give him that. Not calling people out or shouting people's names. Just working on himself, which is good.
No, I'm just greasing because obviously there's a certain group of UK heavyweights, obviously up and coming heavyweights that they're talking a lot, aren't they? So that's why I automatically thought about that. Johnny Fisher's 10 fights in, so he's had similar fights to them, man. He's quiet about his business, as you say. He's not talking about his record in the streets and that. He's just talking. Shout out to Johnny Fisher. Shout out to their group of heavyweights as well. They're fighting each other. The two of them are fighting each other soon anyway. So it's basically made anyways. I don't think it's been announced officially, but it's basically done out here. So
the Perspins got postponed.
Oh, is it? Okay.
There was meant to have Perspins, but it got postponed to next month. So and that's one of them pulls out again.
I was going to say, hopefully, well, to be fair, there's no boxer situation in this, so hopefully we don't pull out. But nice little heavyweight card, I guess. AJ was AJ, but and we wait to see what happens next with AJ. So there's a fight I want to talk about that happened yesterday as well. That is worth mentioning because it's a potential fight of the year candidate, which I'm sure we will return to this later on in December when we have our little roundup of the year. But Oscar Valdez, Flowz, Emmanuel Navarrete was a Mexican classic. Flowz, oh my gosh, an incredible fight. Listeners, the full thing's out on YouTube because Sky obviously have a top rank partnership, so it's out there. So trust me, it's worth watching. This fight was brilliant, Flowz. Two Mexicans, you know what's going to be. Oscar Valdez is cold. Navarrete is a champion. He's also very cold. And just an all-out war, Flowz, honestly. Navarrete got the W deservedly. If you saw Valdez's eye, Flowz, peak. He couldn't, just the biggest swelling, he couldn't see. That was halfway through the fight, he couldn't see out of the eye, Flowz. And I think also halfway for the fight, Navarrete hurt his right hand, I think it was?
Yeah.
So they're both injured, but still swinging out like crazy. Navarrete's got a very languid style in terms of how he flows, very fluid way he punches, but it looks really good. And he was popping off the combinations early doors. Valdez started to wake up midway through the fight, I think, and he started to land his crisp combinations. And when Valdez throws, Valdez is the type of guy, Flowz, that sits down on every single punch he throws. Mm-hmm. It's like there's no, with Valdez, it's not like, oh, I'm going to throw a tentative shot. Every shot has bad intentions. So when he's landing, you're thinking, oof, crisp, oof, powerful shots. They're both Flowz. They're the ones where he stumbled, he rocks you, and then the other guy rocks you for the next shot. One of those back and forth wars. But yeah, at the end of the day, Navarrete was the one who was landing the bigger. He's bigger than Valdez. Valdez is actually quite small. And you can see that it's the bigger man. His shots just had a bit more weight towards them, a bit more power towards them. Valdez's face says it all in terms of how matched up it was. Navarrete didn't look like he had a scratch on him really towards the end. Like he was fine. So despite Valdez sitting down every punch, you knew the power just slightly lied with Navarrete. And yeah, man, from the up to the 12th bell, Flowz, it was just swingers. Amazing fight. Crowd was going crazy. Mexican royalty was in the crowd. You had Chavez Jr. No, not Chavez Jr. Chavez Senior was there.
Yeah.
Barrera was there. Morales was there. Like all the Mexican legends were in the cut.
Man, wonderful.
Yeah, man. Wonderful fight, man. And definitely worth watching if you haven't gone to see it. And yeah, they might run it back. They're talking about this could potentially be the next Mexican trilogy legendary, because these Mexicans, they usually, Barrera and Morales had a legendary trilogy. Pretty sure Marquez had a trilogy with a couple of these guys as well, with maybe Morales as well, or Barrera. But they're saying this could potentially be the next one because it's two brilliant fighters, man. I can't speak about it enough. It was sick.
I need to watch it. I saw highlights. I saw it was a barnstorm. I saw how people were raving about it. I was like, I need to sit down and fully watch this. Yeah,
100%, man. Definitely worth watching. Nice bit of action to round off the day, really. But yeah, that's all the reviews, Flowz, for the past week. There isn't really much to touch upon next week, but it is something I want to bring to your attention, Flowz. I think it's worth discussing before we round up, and that's this Richard Riakporhe situation.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So, it's a bit messy. Essentially, you might have to jump in, Flowz, if I've got some of it wrong, but Richard Riakporhe was in position to fight Jai Opetaia.
Yeah.
Now, somehow along those lines, Mateusz Masternak is also involved, but I can't remember why he's involved. I think it's because they paid Masternak step aside money so that Richard could fight Opetaia. I think it was something like that. But essentially, Richard Riakporhe had a shot at Jai Opetaia, who is the champion, cruiserweight champion. I can't remember which belt he's got. Might be WBC, but Opetaia is the guy who upset Paredes and beat up Paredes in Australia. Opetaia is on the zone. I think he's Matchroom. In fact, I think he's a Matchroom the zone fighter.
Is it a joint deal or something like that?
Yes,
it's a co-promotion. Yeah,
it's a co. So it's that and the one over there in Australia. It might be Joseph Parker's people. I can't remember, but yes, he's co-promoted with Matchroom, and obviously we know Riakporhe is on Boxer. So they've paid Masternak the step aside money and gone in for the purse bids now to have this fight, and they've agreed to it. Blah 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 blah. Purse bids are about to happen, and about 2 hours before the purse bids were about to start, Boxer pulled Riakporhe out the purse bids, and they've pulled him out. And then we've seen Riakporhe drop a statement, essentially saying that this whole process and getting this title fight has messed him around too much, and as a result, because of the mess around, he decided to just withdraw from it. New fight date will be announced soon, essentially. That's sort of what the statement basically said. But the point to highlight is that we've seen this behavior before from Boxer in terms of pulling their fighters out of purse bids on the day or round the corner from when the purse bids are about to happen. And that was with the Fraser Clark, Fabio Wardley situation, where purse bids were ordered. I think it was like a day before the purse bids. Boxer pulled out Fraser Clark, and we know that it was a decision from Boxer, not Fraser Clark, because Fraser Clark has been quick to voice his displeasure online.
Yeah.
He was apparently that relationship still isn't the same. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
So again, obviously, what Matchroom are saying that it's a joke because this, I think, was literally 2 hours before the purse bids were about to start that Boxer pulled Riakporhe out. And again, I'm not going to go ahead and say this is on Riakporhe. He probably wants a world title fight. He's been saying he wants a world title fight, etc. It's just more highlighting the fact that perhaps these people are being advised by their promoters or whatnot to pull out of purse bids and whatnot, which is doing a disservice to their fighter. And yeah, that's obviously what Matchroom and Eddie Hearn are furious about because it's happened twice now with Boxer. Yeah, Flowz, what are your thoughts on the situation? It's a bit messy again, but it doesn't look good for Boxer, does it, man? Because obviously they're onto them. They're onto them harsh.
Yeah, I can't see the ins and outs of it, but it simply looks to me that Boxer aren't willing to have their marquee signings fight on other platforms.
Yeah.
Because they've made some big signings, Riakporhe being one of them, or Coley, Fraser Clark. And when it goes to purse bids, they don't back themselves to part the money and win those purse bids, it sounds like to me. And therefore, they go in a different route and making excuses. And yeah, it's simply they don't want to lose their fighters to another platform, it sounds like. And somehow they managed to convince the fighter to pull out because purse bids, it almost allows the fighters to make as much, well, if it's a highly anticipated fight, to make more money than what's on the table. Whoever puts the most money on the table wins it. And it's split in that sense. But I guess with Opetaia being a champion, they might not think he's a big enough name that the splits that the governing bodies provide won't align to with what Riakporhe wants. So it's a money thing and it's a platform thing. That's the only two ways around it, in my eyes. Because if you're saying you wanted to fight, you guarantee the fight when it comes to purse bids. Yeah. The title's guaranteed. That means the fight's been ordered, it's ready to go. But then it's either the promotion company aren't happy to let you go, or you're not happy with the potential money you're going to make.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, look, these people are meant to be advising these fighters, right? And look, fair enough. Look, you're not confident that you can win the purse bid, or, you know, the purse bid means, look, fair enough. Okay, he goes and fights on another platform. But you provide him the opportunity to not only fight for a world title, which is life-changing, potentially, but also the fact that, let's say you put up a certain amount of money, a good amount of money, and you still lose. The fighter is still going to be paid. You're still getting your fighter paid. Because let's say, even though you're losing into another platform, you might be providing with a highest payday. So it's a win-win for your fighter. You're meant to be doing the best for your fighter in terms of advising him and his career. So it's a world title fight with the potential of winning, or, you know, get as much career winnings as you can. Let's not make it so focused on, I want him on this platform, he's our marquee signing, because as we know, Flowz, that is the issue with boxing today, in terms of how fractured it is, because promoters aren't willing to let their fighters go on other platforms sometimes if they lose a purse bid, for example. They're not willing to have them fight here or there or on the other side of the street. That's how all this starts, man. And it's frustrating. And obviously, Fraser Clark was quick to, you know, voice his displeasure. Riakporhe hasn't. He's been a bit more professional in terms of, you know, dropped his little statement and kept it quiet. But I would like to be the fly in the wall in conversations between him and Ben Strom to see if he was happy with that decision in terms of pulling him out. Because again, that's his shot at a world title. Now, let's say, Flowz, he goes and beats Opetaia. Then what? Boxer have now got two halves of, you know, because don't forget, they've got Crispin Smith, right? He's a boxer fighter.
Yeah.
So imagine he goes and wins now, and you've got Crispin Smith on one side, who's on Boxer with one title, Riakporhe on one side. They've got Cody there as well, waiting in the wings. They could easily make a unification between, you know, William Smith, Riakporhe, Cody fights the winner, for example. You know, they should have backed him. That's what I feel like. But obviously, we don't know the full ins and outs. But just from the outside looking in, it kind of shows, they're not willing to play ball in terms of the cross promotional thing or other side of the street thing, and that sucks, man. I'm not a fan of that.
And it's the fact they wait until the last minute.
2 hours before it's a piss take.
They done it twice. On the day of the purse bid, they pulled out twice now, which is crazy. Like you're talking about them, the other side wasting your time. You're wasting everyone because this is Master that pulled out of the last purse bids, so they ordered Riakporhe. Yeah, and Riakporhe's pulled out, so Jabata has been messed around. He
hasn't fought for like a year now since he beat Bray this year.
And now he's fighting Bradis again, which okay. Let's see. Has Bradis fought since? I don't think so.
No, he hasn't.
Trash division. Not all division. Look at this. It's just made the division look worse.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Look worse.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sad. Yeah. Riakporhe's probably now going to go fight Crispin Smith. Well, TVN, Cody's probably got a rematch clause, but the boxers keeping it in house with the cruiserweights at the moment. It's clearly by the sounds of things. Sad, but it is what it is. That division is struggling. Oh man. But Flowz, let's call it a day there. Nice little episode there. This has been episode 155 of SZN Podcast. Once again, I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And make sure you guys check us out on all the streaming platforms. Peace.
I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.